welcome to episode 2 of Chasing Sunrise. It's 10 to 5 in the morning. According to my app, first light is at 5 o'clock. Well, I'll tell you now, we've already got first light. Just see it coming through the clouds. It is partially cloudy as the weather forecast predicted, but it is going to be sunny today, so hopefully we'll get a good sunrise. And today, you can't probably see it, but we're just heading off now towards Cambois. Here we are. This is Cambois. It's an old World War II docking area, and I'm just about to head off towards the beach. I'll meet you there. Here we are at the beach. Tide is in, but it is expected it's on its way out, so there's some nice light coming through, so hopefully we will get some good pictures today. I'm going to get my equipment together and we'll see what we can come up with. Although I'm using an A7R2 here, most cameras will have this facility on it, a bracketing facility. This basically means that it will meter the scene and produce what it believes to be the correct amount of light for that scene. It will then take that and it can then shoot one stop under, so basically be darker. It will shoot one stop over, so it'll be basically lighter. What this then does, it gives you the ability to shoot in a situation of high dynamic range. Dynamic range is basically the difference between light and dark. The human eye does not have the problem of looking at dynamic range. It can look at a scene that's both light and dark, pick out the details in the dark, and still be able to see the details with the light without blowing out anything in the light areas. The camera cannot do this. Even the best cameras in the world, at the moment you're looking maybe 15 stops either way. So what it can then deal with, it can deal with 15 different stops of light. So it can deal with from dark, then go 15 stops all the way to light to give you that dynamic range. But even then, in this particular scene, you've got a lot of reflection from the sky because it's bright. You've got mid-tones in the sea, and then you've got the extreme darkness of the shoreline. So in this instance, what you can see me doing is taking pictures of the sky area, the sea area, and the shore area that's dark. Now, I'm going to show you the picture of this, and this is where things tend to go a little bit wrong in this video. And one of the big things that went wrong, is why I'm doing this voiceover, is that I'm going to have to learn how to do sound recording in a far better way. I've got a good microphone, but you actually have to be near the microphone to be heard. You can't keep wandering away, you can't keep turning your head away, because the audience can't hear you. So I do apologise, I promise to get better. But at the moment, as I said, this is the bracketing part of it. I'm going to show you those shots in a minute, and then I'm going to then go on to using a filter system to show you actually the comparison between bracketing and a filter system. And there is one big problem with bracketing in this scene, which I will discuss later. I'm sure you're probably already ready to tell me what the massive problem is, but I will reveal all. Okay, so I've taken some more shots. Again, f/22. It's because I'm slowing obviously the water down, making it smoother. The softness is probably going to be okay. I think at this point it's worth noting that I think the ideal thing would be to use a hard grad filter.
If you don't want to do it in terms of photo stacking and you just want the one shot that gets rid of that dynamic, that helps you with the dynamic range, is the sky needs darkening out to match the foreground, and that can only be done with a filter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on an ND filter, grad filter, and show you what that hopefully can do. So I'm now going to set up with the 0.6 ND soft grad. As you can see here, I'm sort of pointing to that. I'm trying to get the scene to help the camera meter the whole scene in a more uniform way. It's getting rid of the dynamic range. That's basically what an ND filter does here. As you can see from the screen there, it's just darkening the whole thing down, so the camera then goes, I'm not trying to struggle between the light and the dark, I'm not blowing out the highlights, you're getting all the detail that you can possibly extract from it. Why photographers don't like to shoot at the extremes of their lens, well, in this instance with my lens f4 or f22, it's a bit like a car engine. If you run it far too low, it stalls. If you push it far too high, you're likely to blow the engine. It's not the optimal driving point for the engine, and with a camera lens it's the same thing. There's a sweet spot where you get the sharpness front to back. If you're shooting wide open, you obviously don't want that sharpness front to back, you're just looking for immediate foreground sharpness. At f22 there will be some softness. In this instance, because I'm trying to capture water movement, I don't want to freeze frame the movement of the water. I want to see movement in the water. f22 I can get away with. f22 gives more darkness to the shot because I want to keep out the light, because I want to keep that shutter open. I think in the end I managed to get 1/5 of a second shutter speed, and that included both the ND filter, the polarizing filter, and shooting at f22, and I'll show you the results of those shots. But it's been good, and hopefully the results that I get will show what can be done with the sort of techniques that I've been showing you. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you like what you've seen, click that thumbs up. I'd love you to subscribe. And we'll see you again. Take care.